Hello there, Prof. Aram here, and in this video I'm going to go over the pecking order theory of capital structure. So let's get to this. This theory is about management preferences. Firms have fairly strong preferences in terms of where they would like to raise capital. They seem to prefer internal over external sources of capital and new debt over new equity. Managers make financial decisions, not the stockholders. And the surveys show that what they value will have consequences for what kind of financing is used in the firm. And they seem to value flexibility and control more than anything else. Flexibility and control. So, what type of financing gives you the most flexibility and the least need to answer to anyone else? So with these two factors in mind, flexibility and control, would you rather use internal financing, which is retained earnings, or external financing? Or when you use external financing, would you rather use debt or equity? So internal financing or external financing. With internal financing, you do not have to file with the SEC or explain to investors what you plan to do with the money. You may, in the hindsight, have to come up with a good story to tell the stockholders about why you retain earnings. Internal financing is the most flexible type of financing, and you're not giving up any control when using internal financing. Now, if you have to go for external financing, would you rather use debt or equity? So if you have to access this external financing, it is a closer call. While new debt may come with covenants which restrict your operating flexibility and the need to explain your actions to rating agencies or banks, issuing new equity requires filing with SEC and a possible loss of control, and probably some negative signal as well. So the pecking order theory suggests that firms use internally generated funds first because there are no flotation costs and no negative signals related to using your retained earnings. And if more funds are needed, firms then issue debt because it has lower flotation costs and no negative signal. And if more funds are needed, then you issue equity. The survey results show that retained earnings scored the highest in terms of preference ranking by the managers. Managers prefer retained earnings with a score of 5.61. And then after that, if you need to, so this is internal, and the rest of these are external sources of financing. So notice that internal equity is vastly preferred to external equity. Straight debt is preferred to convertible debt because convertible debt can be converted into equity and you can basically give up some control. And then when it comes to equity, of course, common equity is preferred to preferred stocks, and then the straight preferred stock is preferred to convertible preferred stock because convertible preferred stocks can basically take control of the firm if the company is failing to pay dividends to the convertible preferred. There is a strict preference to internal financing, straight debt, convertible debt, and then equity and preferred stocks. In other words, there is a pecking order when it comes to financing. You go with internal first, and then when it comes to external, you go with debt and then equity. And here's another evidence for the pecking order theory. This shows the internal and external financing at the US firms. So the column represents the percentage of financing from different sources. So the green one shows internal financing. The kind of blue one shows external financing from debt, and the brown one shows the external financing from common equity and preferred. And as you can see from the evidence, internal financing is strongly preferred compared to external financing. And then the second source is always debt, and the third one is equity. I hope you find this video useful, and thank you for watching.